A few weeks ago, I began writing a hypothetical Squid Games Season 4. And today we're going to continue with episode number 2. Let me clarify, the context of this series is a news article I saw. I'll put that on screen again now for you guys to see again. And of course, with that news article, it just gave me the idea, what if I write my own Squid Game Season 4, how I would want it to be. So, we've got here, Squid Game 402. Simon says jump, jump. Fades into the quarters, with music playing, focusing on the new main characters. He wakes up and walks down to the middle with everybody else. The door opens, and soldiers enter, behind them. Inho in his usual grey coat, the new golden mask. Inho, welcome to the 2025 games. You'll realise that this is exactly the same intro as it was ending of the previous video, the previous episode of the series, but I just thought it would be best to replay over that scene because that was demonstrating the beginning of the scene. So now we're going to continue with that scene as we go into episode number 2. This will be where the intro card plays, so everyone cowers at the sight. The guards, the soldiers, and Inho, in the grey coat and his golden mask. Inho says, everyone here will participate in 6 games over 6 days. Those who make it through will receive a handsome cash prize. Several characters argue, why should we believe that? You took all of our stuff and put us to sleep. Inho, we took those measures to maintain confidentiality. Someone asks about the masks.
You all have masks. Why are you wearing those things?
Our main character will talk up like Sang-woo did in the first season, so I'll play that clip again of Sang-woo from the first season.
I don't trust anything you just said. You tricked us, kidnapped us, imprisoned us. And now you're gonna keep making excuses not to show your faces to us. So give us one reason why we should believe anything you say.
Inho says, player 431, Peter Owen, age 48, working 2 jobs to barely get by, supporting your 4 children after your wife died in childbirth, total death $52,000. Player 298, Diego Jones, 32, living on the street, since age 29, barely eating each day, total debt $34,000. Player 9, Patrick Davis, 56, gambling addict, living in a retirement home, total debt $321,000. Player 321, Lola Walsh, 23, staggering college debt with 2 young children, total debt $43,000. That was a lot to do without breathing. Everyone standing here is living on the brink of financial ruin and can't pay off your debts. When we first came to see you, you did not trust us. But as you all know, we played a game, and as promised, we gave you money when you won. And suddenly, you all trust us. You called and volunteered to come here of your own free will. But I will give you one last chance to choose. Do you want to go back to your old, depressing lives being chased by loan sharks? Or do you want to have a chance to change your life? Peter says, if we win, how much do we get? Inho uses the remote to bring down the piggy bank. Your prize money will be accumulated here after every game. We will disclose the final amount after the first game. If you wish not to participate, please let us know at this time. So, there was a few moments in the first season where, I suppose this was also a moment in the second season, where people could choose not to participate. So I wrote a line here, 2 people chose not to participate but are taken away. We'll catch up with them later, don't worry. I'm going to basically, like with Season 2 and Season 3, we have more look at the guards, which we didn't get in Season 1. Now we're going to get more of a look at what happens to players who don't participate. And we'll also get an opportunity later for a certain scene that plays out in episode number 2. Actually, no, 3 I think it is. Yeah, episode number 3 that's in place. So we'll get to that. Montage of signing the clauses. And of course, at this point we'll have loads of pushing and shoving. So we had a lot of that in the first season with Player 101, he was always pushing and shoving, especially when he got his gang as well. Kept pushing and shoving people out of his way to get his own way. And then all the players will make their way to the game. but not before the photo shoot scene. I'm going to play the photo shoot scene from Season 2 over right now. This was a really powerful scene because it showed how people were, how they were at face value without knowing what the games were like. You know, you had player 333 with his little grin, player 100 with his stern look. You know, I really like that scene, and I want to do that again with the new main character, the people we met in the first episode, before they all got into the van to go over to the game, to the boat. And then I would also like a few shots of the villain characters, the ones that are greedy and they want to carry on. I want maybe 1 or 2 of those to be shown in this scene as well. Inho watches all the players show up on the floor. So of course at this point he's gone up to the new control room. Of course this will be different. It'll be laid out much differently to how it is in Korea, because it's America and it's not been built after this. I envision him coming to take over the American game. Players arrive. Oh wait, yeah, here we go. The players arrive in a playground. Everyone looks up, similar to the first season when the ceiling to red light green light opens, and they see birds flying in the sky. Intercom. Players, please stand on the marker to begin the game. Every player pushes and shoves to get on a marker. Intercom. The game you will be playing is Simon Says. Random person to Peter. Did I hear that right? Simon Says? The children's game? Before we carry on, I just thought I would make a statement. I was considering doing red light, green light here, because it was what they did for 2 seasons in Korea. Now, I could come back in the future and change this. When we get prequels of past Squid games, if they play red light, green light in those, then I will do it again. I will redo red light, green light. And red light, green light would be the first game. But the reason why I've opted for Simon Says is because I have a feeling that I have a small hunch feeling that red light, green light was only played because of Gi-hun going back in at the 2nd season. But of course that won't be confirmed until we get prequels. But that's how I envision it being, and of course it's a different country, so the game would be different. As I said, I've already not liked the fact that we have to play Dakji to get into the American games, because, let's be real, even I hadn't heard of Dakji and I live in the UK. I don't expect many of Americans to have heard of Dakji either. Anyway, let's continue with this. Intercom. The rules are simple. When Simon says jump, you jump. But if Simon says jump, without saying Simon Says, and you move, you will be eliminated. With that, let the game begin. Simon. Simon says jump. Simon says sit. Simon says stand up. Simon says swap stars. Or markers, whatever it is. And the instructions are going to keep getting faster and getting faster and getting faster. Line the floor. 4 people line the floor and get shot by guns in the wall. Several people move and also get shot. Over 100 get shot in this moment. And then we have Inho in his new office, like in the 1st season and the 2nd and the 3rd season. We've seen it all the way through. This will be new design. However, the previous, whoever was the first frontman, I suppose, of the American games would have had it. Montage with Fly Me to the Moon remix from Season 2 remix as the game continues. Fly me to the moon, okay. Let me play among the stars. I love that. Intercom, final round. And then we have a really action-packed. It just zooms through it. It just zooms. It'll be just gone. 3 more eliminated. And then, like with the first episode of Season 1, the roof closes. End credits. I really do hope you did enjoy this video. I had a lot of fun making it again. And hopefully you've been enjoying this series so far. Hopefully I don't leave as long as a gap between episode 1 and 2. I've just been on another holiday since then, and then I'm just getting used to being back at home. But yeah, hopefully you did enjoy this video. I'll see you in episode 3, because episode 3 will be one of the most interesting episodes so far. Because, of course, we need to explore how people are feeling now that they found out they are playing in death games. So, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.